There you go, and just right across there, and just park it there. The reason we call it German pin, because the first time I saw it, there was a German guy doing it. Okay, so I said, it's a German pin. So we just came with that. So I'm not real bright, so that's the best name I could give it. But we're going to put it together with an arm lock. We've been doing UDE GARAMI from the bottom, okay, and we've been doing turns, okay. So we're going to combine some things now because this is really a neat move. It's not a beginner move. It's not a beginner level move, but it certainly is a move that once you get to the point where you're very comfortable with the bent arm lock, UDE GARAMI, arm entanglement, and you can sweep from here to go with this. So it's a nice extra, okay? Maybe not for everybody, but if you got it, you'll make them tap. So
back to the earlier point that we want to treat this like it's a lifeline. So once I get this in nice and tight and I've got his shoulder in my chest, I've got him chicken winged, one hand grip on his wrist, one hand grip on my wrist, okay? I want to keep a good grip on this because whichever position we end up in, I can still finish. I just need to know which configuration we're in. As soon as it starts going out here or I let go one piece of it, I've got to reestablish that grip, I've got to bring it back into position, and then I've got to finish. So if I keep this as my focal point, I'm always going to be able to finish from whichever position we land in. In this case, I've sat up and I'm going to go for the sweep. We flip them over, and here's where a lot of people get in trouble. They can finish from here, okay? They can finish from here, okay? But they have a little bit more trouble when they're in a TATE SHIHO or mount type of position because in order to stay here, they're in a 3-point stance, elbow and knees. And when they try and lift up, it's like, you know, I can't crank it behind there because I'm using my hands to keep or to support my weight. So there's two ways to get around this. And the first one is we start by posting on our head. Okay, that gives us a moment before we actually put the German pin part on him. So I'm going to put my head down on the mat and then I'm going to step around his head. Okay, post on the mat, step around the head, and grab. Okay, don't just stick your foot there, grab his head. Now, all I have to do is just start sliding his wrist that way.
and you see how the head posting and he's squeezing with his leg on his head, on Mike's head, and he's cranking as he does that. See how he does that?
Okay.
Can everybody come over here and see this? You want to come around here and take a look at this. Look at the arm action. He's still got good control of that wrist, right? Okay, go ahead. See how he dragged it in there?
Being on the tripod of my two knees and then my head, and also controlling his head with my leg, gives me the ability, just an inch or two, to be able to slide that arm underneath. And that's really all I need. I've pretty much locked his shoulder down, so I just need a little tiny bit to push, okay? And again, I'm pulling up the shoulder that way, and I'm pushing the wrist back the other way.
So with his left hand, this hand is coming up off the mat slightly, and look what he does with his other hand. So he pulls it in. See that? Just drags it in like that.
Yeah.
And that hurts. It hurts the shoulder and elbow.
Mm-hmm. So that's how, you know, the 3 points that I usually say with the bent arm lock is, you know, shoulder and chest, chicken wing, you know, bringing it in nice and tight like this so it's not 90 degrees, and then paint his knuckles across the mat. And it doesn't matter what configuration you're in, you're still trying to do that. So lift up, paint the knuckles.
You know, you get him in UDE GARAMI from the bottom, roll him deep, and then kick the leg over and finish. So you've got, you know, it's a variation of what TATE SHIHO GATAME or whatever you want to call it, I suppose. TATE SHIHO GATAME would be a good one. But we always call it the German pin. Over the top, and you finish him. And again, you guys are doing it both the way you should be doing it. Obviously, it's the top of your head, you post on top of your head. come across from the back end. Not necessarily the best view that Mike has of your rear end, Derek, but it sure does work. And the tighter, like you guys are doing, the tighter you hook around his head, like clamping it, because you know it really tightens around his neck. It doesn't necessarily choke him or anything; it just holds him tighter. See that foot there, yeah. And if you can even put your foot up across over his shoulder to trap it. There you go, and just right across there, and just park it there, and you see how you can trap it. The idea is to hold them for time, but also make the arm lock happen, because you still have a strong osaikomi situation where you're holding him. See now, yeah. So Derek, you've got it slightly under his buttocks, and that's good too. See.
It seems to be a little bit more comfortable to kind of hook right back there.
Yeah, to underhook at the buttocks area.
Yeah.
One hand on.
Yeah, so you know, if the pin doesn't get him, the arm lock certainly will. And again, I first saw this used, not necessarily this setup, it was a different setup, but I saw this particular movement, the finish part of it, by a German athlete. I always called it the German pin for many years. I saw it first back somewhere on late 80s, maybe early 90s, and this rolling variation of UDE GARAMI just seems a natural way to roll them into it. You know, and I would say it's a variation of TATE SHIHO GATAME would probably be the technical way of looking at it. Can each of you do it one more time, and then we'll wrap it up? That was just beautiful. There you go, nice finish with that. All right, Derek, you would? And there we have the German pin, or a variation of TATE SHIHO GATAME.